and radio frequency microneedling is destroying our faces. Is that true?
Correction. You're seeing a lot of plastic surgeons saying that these devices are destroying your faces. And why do we think the plastic surgeons are saying this?
Well, so that you have more plastic
Plastic
surgeries.
surgeons like to cut. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to the More Than a Pretty Face podcast, where beauty meets science and heartfelt advice. I'm so excited for this Valentine's Day themed podcast today. I'm Dr. Azadeh Shirazi, a board certified dermatologist, and I'm here with my co-host, Nurse Lacie.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I love Valentine's Day.
I know.
You know, it's pink and it's about love
And we match.
and it's cute. Yeah. So, do you have any plans for Valentine's Day?
I just leave that up to my husband. So
The
hopefully
poor
he's
husbands
surprising
and
me.
boyfriends, and they're always the ones having to come up with plans.
Yeah.
And it's like not really their holiday.
Well, technically, I noticed when we moved out to California that Californians don't really celebrate Sweetest Day like we do in the Midwest, but Sweetest
what is
Day
that?
is for the men and Valentine's is for the women.
Of course you would know that. I don't even know what a Sweetest Day is.
Those are the rules I've put in place with my husband. So October Sweetest Day, I think it's October 16th. But yeah, Sweetest Day, if I remember, I'll do something for him. And then Valentine's Day, he can't forget. Well, we have a great episode today. We're going to talk all about loving trends, everything you love to do treatment-wise that may be harmful unintentionally.
Even though you have the best of intentions.
Yes, even though you have the best of intentions, these might not be the treatment options for you.
All right, well, let's get into beauty and blemish. Guys, this is where we share the most amazing things in our life and the not so great blemishes where we want to take a concealer and just
Scrub it away.
scrub it, erase it. You have something?
Well, my blemish would be that you just totally took over my side.
Is
of
this
the
your
couch.
side? Is this really your side?
Really?
I
Okay,
don't
let's
know.
ask. Let's ask the viewers. What side do I sit on? Everyone knows.
Even before in the old set?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Well, we've been doing it wrong all this time.
I
We've
mean,
been
if
doing
you
it
want to
wrong.
really go back to the beginning days, no, I was on the other side. I was
See,
on
you
this
stole
side.
my side. See, that's how it goes. You stole my
But-
side.
I don't know. I like the other side better. So I'm mad at you.
It's okay. It's Valentine's Day. You can't be mad at your
That's my
co-host.
gift. That's my gift to you this season. How about you?
Perfect. That's my Valentine's Day gift. That's what you meant.
Yes.
Well, my blemish would be I had somebody come in the other day and her story both appalled and intrigued me.
Oh, great. I can't wait for this.
So she was breaking out acne all over the place and had these dry, kind of red, inflamed patches. And I was like, what is going on? And
Yeah.
at first, patients are a little hesitant to tell you the whole story, right?
This is
And
true.
you just got to dig a little bit. I don't know why. I think people should really feel comfortable not to think that their dermatologist or their doctor would ever judge them. I never judge because the consumer is exposed to so much out there. It's really hard to know like what could be harming their skin and what could be helping them. So I guess there's a trend that people are using deodorant, antiperspirant, what you put on
Yeah.
your armpits, on their face as a makeup
Why?
primer.
Oh my goodness.
And at
What?
first I was like, well, I could see how that could help, you know.
You see that?
Well, the reason being is
Please.
antiperspirants. Let's talk about the difference, right? There's
Okay.
deodorants that just have like a smell. So
Yeah,
they
they just
mask
smell
the
good.
odor.
Yeah.
Antiperspirants actually stop you from sweating.
Right.
So the idea is it would make their makeup last longer and they wouldn't, get as, I don't know, it would help with their pores.
I don't know.
So yeah, because aluminum salts, what happens is they precipitate in your sweat glands and they block your sweat glands from releasing sweat. So therefore your skin stays dry and so you're not sweating.
I would imagine you would do this if you had a really sweaty face.
Yeah. So I think that was the issue for her is that she, some people just perspire more and it wears off
Okay.
their makeup quickly. And despite, I guess she said, she tried using, setting sprays and whatnot, but this has really helped for her. But over time, it was not only blocking her sweat glands, but also her pores, leading to
Oh,
breakouts. And then
no.
aluminum itself can be irritating
Mhm.
to the skin. So another reason she was getting, disruption of her skin barrier and,
Poor thing.
breakouts. So I guess that would be my blemish.
I feel like patients too come in and they're, like, nervous to tell you the truth because they're probably embarrassed that they would even do something like a
I mean,
TikTok
like I said,
trend,
I was intrigued because it does make sense, the reason they would be doing it.
the
It
science
probably
behind it
would make your makeup last longer. And the armpit skin is actually quite delicate too. So if you can tolerate it in your armpits, you probably could tolerate it on
on
your
your
face.
face.
But I think I would just say use an SPF powder brush or something like that as a reapplication to preserve your makeup because that also soaks up moisture and
Mhm.
oil. And, just by removing the moisture as it accumulates, you can preserve your makeup. So there are other ways to go about it
Yes.
than using deodorant as a makeup primer.
Oh my goodness, I could never.
So moving right along, I'm so excited about our Valentine's Day
Yes, our Valentine's Day
game.
game.
I love games.
I know you do, and that's why I thought it'd be so much fun to play. So basically, I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about some trends or topics or treatments that are going on. And
Mhm.
I have these cards here if you want to pick them up and show everyone. You're going to rate the treatment or topic based on the
Yay.
heart. So you have
True
true love,
love.
which is like you absolutely love it.
And then we have no way,
No way,
Jose.
which means no, never. And then like you're cool.
Like, okay, I'm kind of
Maybe.
impartial.
Like
Maybe it would
so
be
so.
good. I like how you give me a middle, a medium in
Yeah.
between the two
Well, I
because
know you.
sometimes I don't love or hate something, it's kind of like, you're cool,
You're all right.
you're all right.
Yeah.
All
Okay, are
right.
you
Well, I'm
ready?
excited. Yes. But before we get started, to our amazing listeners, we want to show you some love too. So we're going to give 15% off all products at AziMDSkincare.com. So make sure you listen for the code later on in the episode.
Wait, all products? That's an
Yes.
we love you
We
guys. If you
love you
didn't realize by
guys.
now, we
All
absolutely
products.
love you guys.
Okay. So should we get started?
Yes, are you ready? All
Yes.
right. So the first one's going to be skin smoothies, similar to like that trend that's going with drunken elephant, I think.
Drunken elephant. Drunk elephant.
I
Okay,
always
skin
mispronounce
smoothies.
it.
I vaguely came across this. This is where you take like a little bit of your vitamin C and then you take a little bit of your retinol or whatever and you mix it into the
Yeah, and you're making
moisturizer.
like a little smoothie, not to drink, but it's like for your face.
But why? Why? Why take like three different products, mix them together, and then apply them? Why not just formulate one product with all of those things in it? You know what I'm going to say.
I think I do.
No way. Plus, how do you know? Like I saw on there, they were like, you take a dab of this, a tincture, a pinch of this. What are you cooking?
Yeah, you're
Now you're
making a
like,
potion.
now you're making a potion for your face? Definitely a no way for me.
No way.
And plus, I think about like all that stuff getting contaminated. And I
Yeah.
mean, are people like wiping down that moisturizer surface pump thing that they mixing that stuff in?
No.
It
No.
sounds like a game, it sounds like Drunk Elephant wants you to just buy a bunch of products.
Not drunken elephant. No. Okay. Number 2, physical exfoliation.
I would say you're cool. You're cool. I think it's
Yeah.
great for the body. If you've got like calluses or, your feet, you could scrub your legs. But in general, I think they're a little harsh.
Yeah.
And I much prefer chemical exfoliants because, like, when you apply a glycolic acid or salicylic acid, that actually sends a signal to your dermis to rev up collagen production. So you're
Okay.
getting some other benefits at the cellular level
Mhm.
aside from exfoliation. Yes, they both exfoliate dead skin cells off your face, but there's something that's happening with the chemical exfoliants like glycolic acid that you don't get with a physical exfoliant.
Right.
Plus, if you have like acne, rosacea, breakouts, that friction on the
Irritate.
skin can cause some irritation.
All
So
right. So
I
what
would
did you
say,
rate that?
I would say, you're cool.
You're cool.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I don't hate it. Some people the nice thing with physical exfoliants, and this is the reason I don't hate it, is because you get results faster, like
Yeah.
you physically remove the dead skin cells off.
What about like a
Whereas with chemical
washcloth physical
yeah, so that would be that's probably a little worse because that's just really a lot of just
scrubbing?
friction. And then
Yeah.
in washcloths, I just picture those little fibers like growing organisms
Ugh.
and stuff. I don't know. You don't know. Some people might use the same washcloth over and over again. It's kind of like the loofahs.
Yes.
But, physical exfoliation, some people love it because they get that instant gratification as opposed to chemical where you have to use it for a while to really see the difference. But long term, I think they're better for anti-aging.
Okay, well, this next one, I already know your answer. Adjusting your skincare routine for the
True
seasons.
love.
Yes.
Yes. I love this because, summer, it's hot, it's humid, there's a
Mhm.
lot more moisture in the air. So you might want to lighten up your skincare
Yes.
products, opt for gels, serums, lightweight moisturizers. Whereas winter, it makes sense because the air is dry,
Mhm.
your skin's losing more water, you got the heaters on indoors. So you want to opt for heavier, more occlusive products. So smart.
What about looking for a deal on Groupon for Botox injections?
Yeah, no, Groupon should be reserved for definitely not cosmetic or beauty treatments because you don't want to mess with your face.
Right. Yeah.
It's your face. You don't that's one thing you'd probably better off not doing it than doing a Groupon. So,
So what's your card?
oh yeah. No way. No way
No
for sure.
way.
No
Hard
way.
pass.
Hard pass.
Okay. Drinking alcohol and caffeine excessively.
Excessively, I would say no way, but I think it doesn't hurt to have like a glass of wine with dinner for the resveratrol and just,
And the whiskey for
one.
your heart.
Yeah, whiskey.
What?
I don't know
I
about
don't
whiskey.
know.
That's
Oh,
that's
okay.
probably a no way.
What about caffeine? Like if it's in
Caffeine
your
actually has
skincare?
a lot of antioxidants. So I think like, 1 or 2 cups is fine. And most Americans get most of their antioxidants from coffee or caffeine. So I don't
My
think it's a bad
3.
thing. You just have to drink water, because they both dehydrate you.
Yes.
And that can cause eye bags in the morning. It could cause, less plumper, skin. So you just have to
Everything
make
you
sure you
don't want.
hydrate. You just want to hydrate, yeah.
So my 3 shots of espresso, I'm like, good.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Just drink,
Moderation.
yeah, moderation. Drink your water. Drink your water.
Do it yourself skincare.
Oh, I would say you're cool, you're cool.
Have you seen the flaxseed face mask?
Oh gosh, no.
Oh my gosh. People are boiling flaxseed in a pan and then straining that water, and it turns like this disgusting, like, I don't even know how to describe it, like
I
mucusy slime.
honestly, I think if it was the 1800s and we didn't have like all this
Botox.
drunk elephants, around and all these skincare brands that are made to make your life easier and better and make your skin better, then it just doesn't make sense.
I can't believe you haven't seen this video.
No,
I'm
but
gonna
I
have
mean,
to
I
show
think
you.
just do the detox mask. It's literally like sulfur hot springs
Mhm.
in your bathroom.
Yeah.
So you don't have to travel to the Greek
And you don't have to
islands
cook.
to go to the sulfur hot springs. You can just throw on the detox mask. And
I
forget the
love that.
flaxseed. I think just take that. That's probably good for you, like
Yeah.
internally.
Yes.
Just eat it. Eat it.
Okay.
I'll have to tell you a funny story. Can I tell you
Okay.
a funny
Yes,
story? Okay.
please.
So what I remember when I was like 17, I went to the dermatologist and I asked them about eggs on your scalp to like promote hair growth.
Oh.
And he looks at me and he goes, "No, put it here." He pointed to his mouth, "Not here. Eat it. Eat the eggs. Don't put it on your scalp." And I was like,
Food
"Okay,
is for
fair enough."
eating.
I'll never forget the look that the dermatologist gave me. I was like, "Oh."
And now
And
you
now
get
I'm
to give
giving
that
that look.
same look to others.
Full circle here.
Okay, so the next one's going to sleep with your makeup on every now and then.
I would say no way.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what you can do to make this never happen.
Well, first tell us why is it a no way?
Well, okay, a lot of different reasons,
In case we
but
have new
top
listeners.
3 is, one, if you don't wash off your makeup, that makeup and debris and everything gets shoved into your pores. It stretches your pores out over time, and then it can make your pores bigger at the end.
Mhm.
Plus, your cellular renewal peaks overnight. And so when you have all that makeup and stuff on, it's not gonna maximize that renewal, that repair, restore process at night.
Mm.
Plus, clean skin is healthy skin. Like,
Yes.
I cannot go to sleep with my makeup on. I guess I could have when I was, like, 20, but here's a trick. I'd much rather you use makeup wipes than go to sleep with your makeup on. Plus, it gets all over your sheets, and you wake up in the morning, and it's like a disaster. So you can take some makeup wipes. Neutrogena actually makes one now that is fragrance-free.
Ooh.
There's a lot of gentle ones out there now, so use that, 1 or 2 before you go to bed. You can put it on your nightstand so you don't forget, make it real easy,
There
so
you
you don't
go.
have to do that.
There you go.
So,
Perfect. All right. The last one is not getting enough sleep.
oh, no way. Sleep is so important,
So important.
especially for women. Did you know that women actually need more sleep than men
We work
they're
harder.
because they get their hormones from their adrenal glands, whereas men, they can get it from other organs like their, cortisol and so forth. So
I didn't realize
women
that.
actually need a lot more sleep to be able to maintain their hormonal balance. And so when you're not getting enough sleep, your cortisol level goes up, and we all know what that does to your skin, your hair, your nails. So
Mhm.
beauty sleep is real, guys. It's so real
Necessary.
and very necessary, very necessary.
All right. Well, that was fun.
Yes, I love that game, and I love these little hearts. If you guys can't see because 'cause you're just listening, you can now watch us on YouTube, so check us
Yes.
out.
So I still think we should dive into Ask Dr. Ozzy.
Yes, I love to hear from you guys.
Yes, so a segment where you guys email us or DM us all of the questions you need to have the answers to, and we'll talk about it on the show.
I know you guys love skincare, and we love you. To our amazing loyal listeners, we're extending a 15% offer exclusively to podcast listeners. AziMD Skincare. Just use code BRIGHT15, that's BRIGHT15, through February 29th at checkout. This is a special discount we're only giving to our podcast listeners, so use the code BRIGHT15 to get 15% off your favorite products at AziMDSkincare.com. Don't forget to tag me in your skincare selfies. I love to see you glow.
All right, now let's get into our first question here. She writes, I'm seeing a lot of doctors saying that Morpheus 8 and radio frequency microneedling is destroying our faces. Is that true?
Correction, you're seeing a lot of plastic surgeons saying that these devices are destroying your faces. And why do we think the plastic surgeons are saying this?
Well, so that you have more plastic
Plastic
surgeries.
surgeons like to cut. I always said, and it's so funny, I get this from my old mentor who trained under the guy who developed lasers, but he would say, I would much rather go to a nurse for a laser than a plastic surgeon. They simply just not to hate on any of my plastic surgery colleagues, but they just don't have the training and the experience that dermatologists do when it comes
Mhm.
to lasers and devices. And I think it's a little unfair that Morpheus 8 is getting backlash, even though I'm not a huge fan of microneedling with radio frequency. Morpheus 8 can potentially be a wonderful treatment. It's kind of like driving a Porsche. Like, you can have a really bad driver and you get all this like bumpy, roads and like these swerves. And then you can have the most fun in a Porsche with somebody who really knows how to drive one. So it comes down to it's not the machine, it's
It's
the
the
operator,
operator.
right? Because Morpheus 8 could potentially melt your fat. It can go as deep as 7 or 8 millimeters. For the face, the fat layer starts at about 2.5 millimeters. So you definitely want to be less than 2 millimeters
Okay.
in terms of depth. If you're around the eyes, you should really be less than 1 millimeter because the eyelid is just thinner. So those are some just parameters that somebody who really has experience and knowledge and training in operating the Morpheus 8 would know. So by tuning the laser or the device to a certain level, you can potentially avoid melting your fat. Now, the only microneedling radio frequency device that I have in my office is to melt fat, right? That's the only reason I like to use it. It's called the Agnes,
Mhm.
and I love it because it melts fat bags, but it just depends on how you use it. Speaking of, a lot of people wanted to know if you had under eye filler or you got, or your under eyes were rejuvenated from the Agnes.
Oh, interesting. Why don't you touch on that?
Well, we did the Agnes for a
Mhm.
different reason on Lacey, and
Yes.
I will say, I don't think I'm gonna use it in my office as a microneedling radiofrequency device because lasers work better, in my
Yes.
opinion, for the skin.
Yes.
And there was a recent publication a few months back in the Journal of Dermatologic Surgery that looked at non-ablative laser resurfacing versus microneedling with radiofrequency. And the laser resurfacing was superior when it
Mhm.
came to tightening, smoothing, lifting. So I'm going to stick with lasers because I just feel like they do work better than radiofrequency and
Yeah.
microneedling. Even though I think you can still get nice results from it, I favor lasers. I think we
Yes.
both concluded that that
Yes.
was how
We
we
did.
felt. So
Yeah.
the reason radiofrequency and microneedling work, the microneedling helps with texture and the radiofrequency works with skin tightening by
Tightening.
using heat.
Mhm.
So I was reading this article where it was like the Morpheus 8 was like somebody sticking a hot branding needle in my skin and firing it, which is kind of true,
Mhm.
if you think
Yeah.
about it. So in our practice, we tend to do them
Separate,
separately and not together. So we have the Exilus, which is radiofrequency skin tightening,
which I love,
which
love,
we
love.
love, and it uses heat to tighten the skin. And then the microneedling we'll do separately, and that really helps with texture and smoothing. So they work differently. But, not to bash, Morpheus 8, I still think that when used properly, it could be a great treatment. It just depends on who's using
Who's
it.
Yep.
So,
Great.
moving right
Moving
along.
right along, the next question submitted is, "Hi, Dr. Ozzy. I've seen these people on TikTok getting phenol peels, but they look really intense. Are they worth the risk?"
Oh, yeah, that is like a crazy peel. I've never
Yes.
done a phenol peel, I'll be honest with you. Again, I prefer lasers because I have much more control. I can tune the laser to a specific depth.
Mhm.
But let's talk about what a phenol peel is. It's a deep, invasive chemical peel that actually requires sometimes for you to have cardiac monitoring, especially if it's combined with croton oil.
That's
And
just so insane to me, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you can get arrhythmias as a result of it, and it's like a glycolic acid, where you put it on, it dissolves the bonds between the dead skin layer, right? But
Mhm.
phenol has the ability to penetrate not only through the epidermis, which is the top skin layer, but midway into the dermis. So you are talking some really deep, deep, levels in terms of a peel. And so what it does is it essentially kills the skin to that level of depth. It dissolves the bonds. And then you'll see, you've seen those videos of people where like their skin literally sheds
Just
off.
yes. Oh,
It's
I
like this
can't.
this crusty scab that happens over a week's time, and then it's like it comes off. Or sometimes
Yeah.
they go in and they have it, debrided, almost like how we debride wounds to get the dead skin layer to come off. And then you have this like smooth, usually red skin
Yes.
underneath. Well, with lasers, we do the ablation right then and there. Right? People leave with a specific ablation, and then your skin just regenerates over
Mhm.
7 days. With the peels, with phenol, you actually have to apply it and then rinse it off and then wait 15 minutes before you apply it to another section of the face. You wanna know why? Because you can actually get systemic absorption
Oh
and you can
my
get liver toxicity,
gosh.
and it can really affect your
Mhm.
internal organs. That's how deep this chemical
You
peel
know,
can be.
and this is why we need to see professionals
Well,
whenever they see a
I hope
TikTok.
nobody can really
Well, I
get that
mean,
online,
just in
hopefully, gosh, at
general, like,
Amazon.
people see all these TikToks and they're like, "Oh, wow, that looks cool," or "That's amazing," but who knew that all of this could be involved with just a peel?
Yeah, that's true,
And that's scary.
Yeah, you have to do it, like, in a different you have to wait 15 minutes, then do another section of the skin and really do it strategically, and a lot of times you need IV sedation because it is
Oh
so
my
painful, you can't do
gosh.
numbing cream. Like, with lasers, we can put numbing cream on for an hour, and it can be really uncomfortable, really painful. Again, I respect a lot of dermatologists that do this, there's not very many of them that do this. There's a guy named Peter Roulon who is very famous for doing these phenol peels. Another a friend of mine, Dr. Seaver Soon, also does them.
Really, he does?
But he does, yeah, he does do them. But yeah, you gotta go to somebody who does this all day long. They specialize in it because it can really be scary to do.
I mean, it sounds scary.
Yeah.
I'd much rather do a laser.
So yeah, so just use the clarify pads, exfoliate, get the dead skin layers off and yeah, you don't need to go that deep.
Well, that's
You
a wrap
you would
from
only
us.
go you would only go that deep if you have, like, really deep acne scars or really deep wrinkles. There's no other reason to do a phenol peel, even though the transformation looks amazing, but that's because they picked, the right
Candidate.
candidate for
Mhm.
that peel.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap, guys.
Oh
Happy
my
Valentine's
goodness.
Day from us.
Thank you for
Don't forget
joining.
to love your skin every day, not just on Valentine's Day. Bye, guys.
Bye.